Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, Steelers Nation. What I'm about to tell you could be one of the most significant moves in recent years for Pittsburgh's defense, and it's got the entire league buzzing. Rumors are swirling about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the AFC North's landscape. Reports from insiders like Adam Schefter suggest that the Steelers are eyeing a move to bring in Jessie Bates III from the Atlanta Falcons, and the implications are huge. This isn't just about adding another safety. It's about upgrading a secondary that's already been pretty solid but could reach elite status with the right piece. And Bates, you might already know, is a game changer. Let's back up a bit and look at what's happening with the Falcons. Right now, they're sitting at 4-8, and their secondary has been a concern, allowing close to 260 passing yards per game in 2025. That's not a good look when you're trying to contend, especially considering how much teams are throwing the ball around in today's NFL. They've got some cap issues, too. Bates' hefty $17 million price tag is making it tough to rebuild quickly, especially with a focus on younger players and a possible rebuild after the disappointing start to Desmond Ridder's second season. Atlanta's management seems to be prioritizing draft picks, likely aiming for edge rushers and other young talent, over veteran safety contracts. Their odds for a Super Bowl are pretty long, sitting at plus 12-0, so it's clear they're in a rebuild mode and might be willing to part ways with Bates to free up cap space and go with a younger core. On the flip side, the Steelers are sitting pretty at 9-4. Their defense has been one of the league's best, especially against the pass, allowing only about 1-2 touchdowns deep per game. Adding Bates into this mix could be a game changer. The Steelers' safeties, especially Minkah Fitzpatrick, have already been elite, but pairing him with a ball-hawking safety like Bates could elevate the entire unit. Think about it. This is a secondary that could see an increase of over 20% in interception rates and a reduction in big plays by nearly 18%. That's a massive boost, especially when you're going against high-powered offenses like the Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes, who love to push the ball downfield. With Bates's instincts and coverage skills, he'd be a perfect complement to Fitzpatrick's playmaking, creating a tandem that's hard to beat. Now, let's talk about what Bates really brings to the table. This guy is the real deal. His stats in 2025 are pretty eye-opening: 4 interceptions, 10 pass defenses, and a PFF grade of 87.9, which puts him in the top 6 safeties in the league. His coverage EPA is 38, meaning he's been effective at limiting big plays, and he's allowed just about 52% completion when targeted, which is very solid. Plus, he's a disciplined tackler with 6 tackles for loss despite missing a game in Week 6 because of a concussion. Across his career, Bates has accumulated 18 interceptions, 45 pass defenses, and forced several fumbles, an all-around playmaker. Pro Football Reference rates him as elite in yards after catch allowed, at just 4.1 yards, which is outstanding for a safety. You combine that with his versatility and instincts, and you see why Steelers fans should be excited. And it's not just about the individual stats. The impact Bates could have on Pittsburgh's defense is profound. His ability to read plays and make smart decisions in coverage would elevate the entire secondary. He's known for his high football IQ, almost like a quarterback on the back end, and that's exactly what Pittsburgh needs to tighten up their coverage schemes. Especially against teams that throw deep, like Kansas City, having Bates's ability to read Mahomes, deep balls, and jump routes could be the difference in tight games. Imagine a defense where Minkah Fitzpatrick and Jessie Bates are working in tandem, creating a formidable duo that opponents have to plan around. That kind of pairing elevates the entire unit, and it's exactly what Pittsburgh needs to push for a deep playoff run. But let's not forget the tactical side of this. Bringing Bates in would mean giving Mike Tomlin and the defensive coordinators even more flexibility in their schemes. Bates's leadership qualities and his knack for making big plays under pressure are exactly what Pittsburgh's defense needs to take that next step. His addition could lead to more turnovers, something the Steelers have been good at this season, but with Bates, they could be even better. His presence on the field would also help reduce the workload on Minkah Fitzpatrick, allowing him to focus more on coverage and playmaking rather than being the sole playmaker in the backfield. Now, let's look at the broader picture. This kind of move is reminiscent of the trade that helped boost the Denver Broncos' secondary in recent years, with the acquisition of Jaquan Simmons. That trade led to a dramatic improvement, over 120 yards less allowed in the secondary in 2024 alone. If the Steelers can pull off a similar move with Bates, it could be just what they need to solidify their defense as a top-tier unit and make a serious push toward the Super Bowl. The odds for Super Bowl LXI, which are currently at +1,200, could see a significant shift if Pittsburgh's defense becomes even more formidable with Bates in the fold. Some projections even suggest the odds could drop to +650, making the Steelers one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. And speaking of playoff potential, this move could be the final piece that puts the Steelers over the top. Their schedule remains tough, but with a secondary that can lock down opponents and create turnovers, they'll be in every game. The addition of Bates would also send a message to the rest of the league that Pittsburgh is serious about contending now, not just rebuilding. It's about establishing a culture of excellence and winning championships, much like the Steelers of old, with a defense that strikes fear into opponents. The potential for a new era, one that echoes the legendary Palomalu days, is very much alive if this trade goes through. Of course, nothing is certain yet. Atlanta's management is cautious, they're weighing their options, and the price tag is steep. A second and third round pick plus taking on Bates's cap hit would be a significant investment. But if there's one thing Steelers fans know, it's that Pittsburgh isn't afraid to make bold moves when it counts. The franchise has a history of turning potential into championships, and this could be the next chapter in that story. The timing aligns well, especially as the team is poised for a deep playoff run, and adding a player like Bates could be that extra spark that pushes them all the way. Looking ahead, if this trade does happen, it would also serve as a statement to the rest of the league. The Steelers are not content with mediocrity. They're aiming for greatness. The defense, already among the best in the league, would become even more impenetrable. This move could also reshape the AFC North, making the Ravens and Bengals adjust their game plans, knowing Pittsburgh just got even tougher to beat. It's a strategic move, a statement of intent, and for Steelers fans, a reason to be more optimistic than ever about the playoff push and beyond. As we wait for official confirmation, one thing is clear. Steelers Nation, we're on the brink of something big. Whether it's Bates in black and gold or not, the current trajectory shows this team is hungry, talented, and ready to contend. But if this trade goes through, it could be the catalyst for a dominant Steelers defense, one that echoes the legendary days of Palomalu and Woodley and sets the stage for multiple Lombardis in the future. It's about building a dynasty, and with the right moves, Steelers fans were right there on the edge of history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Bates would transform Pittsburgh's defense into an unstoppable force? Would you be happy to see the franchise make this bold move? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news. We're heading into an exciting chapter, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. One thing's for sure, Steelers Nation, the future is looking bright. And with moves like this, we're not just dreaming of another Super Bowl, we're preparing to bring it home.